3 continents, 13 hotels, 30 days.
Let's travel the world. In the past 30 days, I've had one of my best months ever in business. While traveling around, going jet skiing, flying in hot air balloons, and moving across the world. And I'm asked a lot, does traveling affect your business? And the fact of the matter is no, it really doesn't at all. In fact, I find that through traveling, while being introduced to new cultures, as I'm meeting new people, I'm given more creative ideas. So in this video, I wanted to walk you through the 2 things that have allowed me to build my business while traveling the world and living life to the fullest. Okay, so the first hotel was in Scottsdale, Arizona, where honestly, I just went there for a couple of days to have a good time. So I'm not gonna bore you with that. Now on this flight, I got a lot of work done, and it meant that then I could just sit back and enjoy the rest of the business class experience. But while working on that flight, I was actually building one of the most important things. And this is the first thing that you need to have in order to enjoy traveling while having a company, which was building out a new system. Now, I truly believe that systems stand for save yourself time, energy, money, and stress. And that's why systems are the first and most important thing that you need in order to travel while having a company. But more on that in a moment. A system is ultimately a repeatable process, something that can be done again and again. Oftentimes people think that systems need to be software, but it doesn't have to just be that. It can literally be a document outlining how to go from step 1 to step 2 and get the finished result that you need. So my recommendation is to do a brain dump of every single thing that you do that you have to do again and again and again. Let me give you an example of a system. So while I was enjoying the Kempinski, we got multiple new clients. Now, I didn't have to do a single thing because we have a client onboarding system. So we know that when we get a new client, here are the steps that we need to take. So we need to give them access to this and we need to give them access to that. And the beautiful thing about a system is that you can then delegate it to a team member. And that's exactly what I have done so that I can enjoy these beautiful views. Oh, it's so peaceful here. And that's another amazing thing about systems. It means that you don't need to think about what you're doing, which gives you a much clearer mind so that you can then focus your energy and attention on things that are actually going to grow your business rather than the day-to-day minutia. Seriously, they are absolutely everything. So the first step to systems is really just doing a brain dump of everything that you do on a daily, a weekly, and a monthly basis. What always has to get done in order for your company to run. Then from there, turn those things into step-by-step processes and then make a checklist. So for example, if you know that you need to constantly be building new websites for people, okay, what does every single website need to have on it? Where do we need to have links? Think about it this way. If someone was to come into your company knowing nothing, what would they need to know in order to get that outcome? That's how you need to think about these systems. The second thing is having white lines. The second thing you need in order to enjoy traveling while having a business is white lines. And I don't mean the white lines that you hear about a lot in Ibiza. White lines are like the barriers on the edge of a bowling alley. It's the parameters that you live your life by. So what things will you do and what things will you not do? Creating these white lines comes down to your core values. So for me, freedom is really important. However, above that comes my health. I know that every single day I have a certain step goal, and I will never let my travels take me away from that because I want to stay fit and healthy. When you're traveling, it's very easy to get caught up in all the exciting things, but I would rather enjoy my travels at an 80% level rather than a 100% level, because if I do that, then it allows me to have consistency in the other areas of my life. When you're traveling and having a business at the same time, realize that that's now your lifestyle. So it's important not to sacrifice everything else just for your travels like a lot of people do after saving all their money up for a year to then go traveling. It's very different for you if you're traveling as your business. Now, the cool thing about White Lines, let's say you decide that every single night you're going to be in bed sleeping by 1 a.m., then you have rules to live by, and you won't allow peer pressure to distract you from that, because you make the decision once and then just stick to it again and again and again. And that actually builds up confidence and certainty in knowing that you have the ability to continue to grow a business while traveling the world and enjoying yourself and not getting dragged in multiple directions. And that right there was the beginning of the end of my phone. After I got out of the pool, it seemed fine, but then at dinner that night, things went downhill. But let me tell you, my experience at the Titanic Marden Palace was the first time I'd ever been to a real all-inclusive resort like this. So I was with a bunch of friends to promote the Luxio brand, and that was pretty cool and a great experience for sure. And saying yes to spontaneous things like that usually would be totally different from my normal, is something that I just love about posting content and just getting myself out there, because it just opens up random new experiences and opportunities that would never normally come your way. Now, while we were all having a good time and experiencing really fun things together and drinking a lot of wine, it was difficult to stay on track, but that's why I was grateful to have White Lines in my life. So I still hit the gym, and I said no to some of the day-to-day activities, which was challenging while everybody was jumping off and backflipping into the sea and going quad biking and paragliding. But I knew that saying no to that allowed me to say yes to prioritizing and focusing on my business that really needed my attention at that moment. And so despite the fact I missed out on a few things, it was okay for me, because at the end of the day, if I didn't have a business at all, I would be working in a cubicle somewhere or doing #WFH and complaining about my life. So sacrificing a little bit here so I can put some time on my business, I'm okay with that, and it just requires a bit of self-discipline. And then when I got to my next hotel, which was the Miramare Beach Hotel, I was able to truly focus without any distraction. And actually, sometimes when you're alone with your thoughts, that's when it can be the hardest to actually stick to your routine, because there's no one there to hold you accountable. It's you versus you, and you holding yourself to your standards. So that's actually where I find that you can be the most tested. But nevertheless, the gym may have been quiet at this hotel, but I still got it done. And by the way, for most of these hotels, I'm actually going to be doing full on hotel tours. So at Miramare, I'm going to be showing what it's like at an all-inclusive resort during COVID, and for the Titanic Marden, I just have a cool hotel review. And the same thing goes for the Delphin, which is the next hotel. And this has the craziest gym I have ever seen in my life. Now, all of this content that I've shown you here is just little snippets of the new travel series that's coming. So stay tuned, make sure to subscribe. And wow, I'm excited because laptop lifestyle is what's coming on this channel, as well as a bunch of value content. In fact, check this out. I've just been filming on this flip chart right here for a bunch of content that I'm going to be sharing with you. And wow, the cool things that you can get delivered to your hotel room, right? I'm feeling pretty grateful, but with that said, make sure to hit subscribe. All this stuff is going to be coming, and let me know how you want help when it comes to having this online business, living this worldwide laptop lifestyle, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe.